Website hosting. Hosting is just like a garage. So you need to know where your website is hosted. Your website, not your domain. So you have domain registrar, which is www.mywebsite.com. That's your domain. And the registrar is who you pay monthly. Hosting is like a garage for your website. Where do you park all the files and the database and everything for the website? Typically, these should not be the same location. Your domain registrar should not also be your hosting company, even though they offer the services. Hey, your website, development site, your backup sites, your staging site, these are called servers, essentially. But really, all it is a computer that hosts all of these different things. If you're not sure where your hosting is done, you can check Whois at Domain Tools. And also Scam Advisor is another great resource to be able to get a feel for what's going on with your website. If your website is bouncing around because you happen to like changing vendors every year, eventually you need to stop. You need to find a quality vendor that knows HVAC, knows web, knows search, knows social, and so forth, knows SEM, and you need to stick with them and continue to work to enhance your website so you can grow, you can build some building blocks instead of bouncing around all over. You'll be able to see, just like we do, how many times your website has moved or changed servers over and over and over again. You can see that here as well. You can also see what other kinds of websites are hosted on the same server. You want to stay with US-based or Canada-based servers that are shared with other US and Canada-based servers. You don't want to bounce around to a server that's got a bunch of overseas sites on it as well. All right, so things you need to have in place. You need a backup server with daily backup and hold, not replace. Daily backup and hold. You need a development server. This is all part of your hosting. This is either referred to as a dev or a staging server. That is for your team to do maintenance, and this is going to be a maintenance team. You want to make sure that they have a server that's not on your live server to do regular maintenance, which has to get done as well on your website, not just on the server. You need a server for your live site. In addition to that, you need a content delivery network. That's a CDN. The simple version is your website is displayed as if it was hosted in multiple different server locations. From a security standpoint, a CDN is going to protect the IP address of your actual server from being public. It's going to allow your website to look like it's being displayed and hosted from many different locations. That's going to help improve the overall security for your website. Next, we got to make sure your website is secure. That means it needs an SSL certificate. This is typically an additional cost to a hosting plan. It's an annual fee that can range anywhere from $100 to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the level of the security certificate. I'm going to show you why you've got to have this. It used to be a recommendation from Google. Now it is required. If I go look for, let's do furnace installation. Let's go to Bellingham. I'm looking at a map. Okay, we're just going to pick something. There's 314,000 pages in this drawer. We're going to skip the ads, skip the maps, and we're going to move down to the organic results. What you should see is https://www.blank.com. https://www.blank.com. The HTTPS is what is showing that it's a secure site. So on the first page of Google, I want you to notice. Oh, let me back up. First page of Google, you'll notice secure, 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 secure with schema. We'll come back to that. Secure with schema, secure, secure with schema. This is beautiful. Nice, Barron's. Secure, but does not set up with the proper domain. It doesn't have the www, which is Google's preferred URL structure. If an SEO team is monitoring this site, they would be getting on top of the hosting and security team to make sure that this is set up with what's called a 301 redirect, to make sure that it's redirecting to the site with the W's. So the further you go down in the results, the less compliant sites are going to be. Not just with this 3 things, there's hundreds of other things. But the more pieces you have in place, the higher you're going to rank. So this site, Barron's, not only is it on page 1 of Google for barronheating.com, it's on page 1, position 2, 3, and 4, because there's a lot of specific things that are in place on this website to make it occupy a page 1 result. And they do not have an office here. I know that for sure. These guys, I saw another one. This one does have an office here. So these are actually position number 3, 4, 5, and 6. So they're ranking right up with Mars, who does have an office in that location. Kind of giving you an example of why these are important. Every single item from these checklists that you get right is going to help you get closer to where you want to be. Every single thing from these checklists that are not in place are going to pull you farther from where you want to be, which I believe everyone has the same goal. You want to make your business an option for the services you want to sell in the cities you want to sell them, when and where people are looking, which happens to be online. So that being said, as I mentioned, your site search, we want to make sure all searches for your website reroute to Google's preferred URL structure, which is secure, HTTPS, //www.yoursite.com. So we want to make sure every single one of these reroutes to the exact same URL. Those are called 301 redirects. That is the best and most important time to do that. Okay. Let me show you here. Let's go down to 4 seasons and see what we have going on. So for this particular site, what you're going to notice, not secure. There's no HTTPS. I can tell it's an older website, and I can see a giant thing here that says not secure. This website is not secure. You should not enter any information on the site, blah, blah, blah. And next, we need to make sure that the website is set to index and follow on our robots.txt file. So I hate doing this to you because I know it hurts my head when you guys start talking about condensers, so I get it. But this is important. Your website has to have this file. If you just put a / and say robots.txt, this is the file that explains that your website is available to be crawled or not available to be crawled. And I can do this on any site. So same thing here. So it's going to say what is allowed and what is not allowed. Your back office should be not allowed. The front end should be allowed. On that file, we also need to make sure we have a sitemap. And I'm going to show you how to look for a sitemap. .xml. This sitemap is what tells Google where to go crawl for content. So there's 2 sitemaps on this website. There's one for pages. This is going to show all of the pages on this website. These are your assets that can each individually be archived and ranked inside Google's file system based on what consumers are looking for. And these are blog posts. Those are all of the blogs on your website. So you can see exactly what we're trying to go after, or what your competitor's going after, or what you are going after or not going after. So every single item in a website, individual page, gives you the ability to get found in a different drawer. That's why these sitemaps are important. Google has to know, show me every piece of paper on your website and let me file this into the drawer based on what those pages say.